a mysterious man appeared at our doorstep, demanding $4,000 for a meal my daughter supposedly skipped out on at his upscale bistro. He introduced himself as the head chef, but his story seemed unbelievable. I'm Sarah, 32, living with my husband Alex and our daughter Lily. There was no chance Lily could have done this. I confronted his intense accusations with unwavering resolve, defending Lily's honor. Years ago, I was deceived by an ex who vanished after taking $4,000 from me and leaving me pregnant. When I tried to reach him, he had disappeared. Left alone and nearly destitute, I focused on raising Lily and persevering. Recently, my ex was arrested. The man who informed me was Alex, my supportive husband. Despite the age difference, I was drawn to his strength and reliability. Though I worried he might not accept me due to my past, he did. And now we were happily together. One day, Alex's parents called, inviting us to visit them at their countryside home. They wanted to see Lily, whom they adored despite not being biologically related. I agreed and told Alex. He hadn't taken time off this month, so he immediately requested vacation days from his boss. With approval, we eagerly anticipated the trip. But on the day of departure, Alex had to work unexpectedly. You go ahead. I'll catch up later, he said, kissing us goodbye. I informed my in-laws about the change of plans and set off with Lily. Upon arrival, they greeted us warmly and made us feel at home. They were excited for Alex's arrival the next morning. While they went about their chores, I stayed behind to await Alex. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. It was too early for Alex. I opened the door to find a stern man in his 70s. He demanded $4,000, claiming Lily had eaten at his bistro and left without paying. He insisted I cover the bill. I was stunned and tried to explain, but he was too enraged to listen. Can I get your name? I asked. Ethan, he snapped. I decided to call my in-laws for verification. They quickly confirmed Ethan wasn't known to them. I returned to Ethan, saying I couldn't pay. He threatened to involve the police if I didn't settle the bill, but I insisted we resolve the misunderstanding. Ethan insisted I pay or face serious consequences. He reached for his phone to call the police, and an officer happened by. Ethan explained the situation to the officer, who approached me sternly, saying Lily was suspected of dining and dashing, and if I didn't pay, she'd be taken into custody. I argued. My daughter wouldn't do that, but the officer remained unyielding. Ethan offered a compromise. Pay $4,000 and he dropped the matter. Despite his threats, I refused, standing my ground. Ethan's face flushed with anger. The officer's silence was disconcerting. Suddenly, a taxi pulled up, and Alex emerged, looking confused. What's going on? He asked. Ethan tried to explain, but Alex's expression changed as he understood. Sorry for the confusion. Officer, may I see your badge? Alex asked, catching everyone off guard. The officer hesitated, but eventually showed his badge, which seemed suspicious to Alex. Daniel, the real police officer, revealed himself and his badge. I'm Daniel Taylor, Chief Inspector of the New York Investigation Division, he announced. Ethan and the officer were stunned. Daniel explained the division's role in handling complex crimes like fraud. He then handcuffed Ethan and the fake officer. Daniel contacted the authorities, and the imposters' faces drained of color. We were desperate, they pleaded. My in-laws arrived with real police, and I was relieved as the fraudsters were escorted away. Daniel's actions had saved us from a potential disaster. I was grateful for his presence and the support of my in-laws. As we settled in, our neighbors celebrated Daniel's heroism, and Lily enjoyed the joyful atmosphere. That night, I felt a deep sense of relief and happiness as I looked at Lily's smiling face. With the fraudsters taken away, we spent the rest of the day with Alex's parents, enjoying their hospitality and catching up. It was heartwarming to see Lily bonding with her grandparents, and their warmth helped alleviate the stress from earlier. As the sun set, we gathered around the dinner table, savoring a meal prepared with love. The next morning, while Alex and I were reflecting on the previous day's events, our in-laws shared more about the local community and their connections. They had been involved in various neighborhood activities and were well respected, which reassured us about their support. The local news soon picked up the story of the scam attempt, featuring interviews with Daniel and the police. Our neighbors came by to congratulate Daniel, bringing over a spread of delicious homemade dishes and treats. The small gathering turned into a spontaneous celebration of gratitude and relief. Throughout the day, Alex and I found ourselves reflecting on how much we appreciate our supportive network and the strength of our family. As we prepared to head back home, we felt a renewed sense of connection and joy. On the drive back, Alex took my hand saying, "I'm so grateful for how everything turned out. I don't know what I would have done without your bravery and Daniel's help." I squeezed his hand and smiled. We make a great team, and I'm thankful for our family and friends who stood by us. When we arrived home, we were greeted by a message from our local police station, commending Daniel for his exceptional handling of the situation. It was a proud moment for us, knowing that his dedication and expertise had not only protected us, but also contributed to the community's safety. As the days went by, life returned to normal, but the ordeal had left us with valuable lessons about trust, resilience, and the importance of standing up for what is right. We continued to cherish the time with Alex's parents and maintained close ties with our supportive neighbors. One evening, as Lily played happily in the garden, Alex and I sat on the porch, reflecting on how fortunate we were. We realized that despite the challenges, we had emerged stronger as a family. The bond between us had deepened, and we were more appreciative of the love and support we had. Life was back to its usual rhythm, but with a renewed sense of gratitude and strength. We knew that no matter what obstacles lay ahead, we could face them together with unwavering support from each other and our community. As the weeks passed, life slowly returned to normal, but the impact of the events lingered. Alex and I were more attuned to our family's needs and to the importance of community. Our bond with Alex's parents grew stronger, and we made it a point to visit them regularly, cherishing the moments together. One day, while Alex was at work, I received an unexpected call from the local police station. The officer who had initially been involved in the situation wanted to meet with me. My heart raced as I wondered if there was any follow-up required from our ordeal. I arrived at the station, where I was greeted by Officer Bennett, the same officer who had seemed unhelpful during the incident. He looked nervous but sincere. "Mrs. Taylor, I owe you an apology. I was out of line during that situation, and I want to make amends." I was taken aback, but listened as he continued. "I've been reassigned to a different department, and I wanted to personally apologize for the way I handled things. I realized my mistakes and wanted to make sure you and your family knew that I regret my actions. I appreciated his honesty and willingness to make things right. Thank you, Officer Bennett. I appreciate your apology. It means a lot that you're taking responsibility." With that, we shook hands and he left, a sense of closure washing over me. I returned home, relieved that the matter had been addressed, and shared the news with Alex, who was supportive and understanding. The following weekend, we decided to host a small gathering at our home to thank our friends and neighbors for their support. We invited everyone who had been there for us, including Daniel and his family. The atmosphere was warm and filled with laughter as we celebrated our community's strength and unity. During the gathering, Daniel shared stories about his experiences with the police force and the importance of integrity and justice. His stories resonated with everyone, reinforcing the values we all cherished. The evening ended with heartfelt toasts and a renewed sense of appreciation for the people in our lives. As the year progressed, we continued to build on the positive experiences from the incident. Alex and I found ourselves more involved in community activities and made it a priority to support local initiatives. Lily thrived in her environment, surrounded by the love of her grandparents and our close-knit circle of friends. One evening, as I watched Lily play in the garden, I reflected on the journey we had been through. Despite the challenges and the unexpected twists, we had emerged stronger and more connected. The experience had taught us the value of resilience, trust, and the power of a supportive community. Life continued to unfold, with its ups and downs, but we faced each day with a renewed sense of hope and gratitude. Our family was closer than ever, and we cherished the small moments of joy and togetherness that made our lives meaningful. And as the seasons changed, we remained grounded in the knowledge that, no matter what came our way, we had each other in a community that stood by us. The future was bright, and we faced it with confidence, knowing that we had the strength to overcome any challenge together.